All right, you're with Jim Carty of the Patch newspaper, and I am here with Shane Hayes of Socks in the Frying Pan from Ireland. How you doing, Shane?
Great, Jim. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing all right. It sounds like you've had a little planes, trains, and automobiles since the tour started, huh?
We have, yeah, it was 44 hours travel to get here the first time, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and then got food poisoning an hour after getting into bed, and United lost the bags, and then sadly yesterday we had more storms in Chicago, so it was another 6 or 7 hour delay onto it. And this was our day off, so hooray!
Yeah,
Another day on
yeah.
the road, baby.
You really needed it, I would
Yeah,
imagine, because you must have gotten in very late last night, or
yeah. I feel either we've done something very bad in the past life, or we're just we've got some karma, good karma coming towards us.
yeah. You must be Stephen Dedalus in another life, huh?
Yeah, right. God, I don't know what we did to somebody anyway, but we certainly got on somebody's nerves.
Yeah. Well, tell me about the band. Who's in the band, and what can people expect at the Katharine Hepburn Theater when you come to Old Saybrook, Connecticut?
Currently, the band members are myself on accordion, Ed on coin on guitar, and it was my baby brother Fiacra on fiddle, but he took early retirement at the age of 30, and he's off traveling. He's on sabbatical. He's traveling the world with his girlfriend for a couple of years. So we have a phenomenal fiddler, Ian King from Chicago, All Ireland champion as well. So we have, and what can you expect of the show? Fireworks, elephants, all sorts of things you'd associate with Irish music. You know.
Well, it sounded like from what I was listening to online, you played some standard stuff, some stuff that I heard you play some bluegrass stuff. You guys said, "Hey, we were at a bluegrass fest," and you played a bluegrass standard, and then you played your own brand of Irish music that was very upbeat, very very fun. Really, the crowds really get into it at your shows. Just the energy level is through the roof. I love it.
Yeah, I guess the more they give us, the more they get back. You know, we're very much a kind of a crowd energy band. So like if we're playing and people go a bit nuts, that kind of just drives us a bit nuts, and the whole thing just kind of gets a bit super nuts. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
but yeah, no, it's fast. It's good, lively trad, high energy trad stuff, trad Irish music. We've
yeah.
got a lot of songs. We've got some of the older songs, and as you say, we've been to a lot of festivals. We've been around the block a few times now, and each one of these grey hairs represents another bluegrass festival where we picked up a new song. So.
Well, good, good. And you guys all seem to pick up instruments at a young age, and it seems endemic of where you come from in Ireland. You want to talk to where you come from in the musical tradition?
Yeah, so I come from County Clare, Ennis County Clare, which is basically the Nashville of Irish music. It's the Irish music mecca in Ireland.
Right.
Every man, woman, child, and dog and cat plays something in Clare. You know, it's unavoidable, like you know. So the like we every and most kids learn the tin whistle when they're in elementary school, and
Mm.
my mother did lots of Irish dance and she played a bit of music when she was a kid. Dad played a bit of music too. So and it on in the band. His father was a very famous uilleann piper, and his grandfather was one of the founding members of the famous Liverpool Kelly band. So as it like it's just a dynasty. Everybody plays. You're nothing special over there, you know that type of way.
Right, right. You're nothing next to the chieftains or Van the Man, right?
No, you have to make it big abroad to make it big in Ireland.
Apparently so.
Yeah,
Good,
yeah.
good. So, tell me about your influences. Speaking of the chieftains and obviously like just a lot of influences that you can draw on from Irish music.
There sure is. And yet, when I tell you the three big influences in our music, so my favorite band was Queen. My brother's favorite band was Creedence Clearwater Revival, and Aidon's favorite band was Steely Dan. So I guess maybe that's where some of the stuff comes from. It's I mean, the trad is inescapable. You know, it's just kind of everywhere, and we've all kind of grown up playing it. But we kind of grew up playing trad, but listening to a lot of kind of rock stuff. So I guess maybe because of that, you're kind of picking up a lot more influences elsewhere. You know, so I suppose stuff starts to kind of fuse, and you start picking up and coming in along. So maybe that's where it's not just kind of the old Irish stuff. It's kind of old Irish
But
stuff with a bit of a
the
twist.
band is absolutely musically sound, and you just named a lot of very solid, Queen and Steely Dan, just very high level of musicianship, which your band clearly has. This is
Oh,
not
thanks very much.
just a stage show. This is a high level of musicianship that I'm hearing, which is great.
Yeah, I mean, if Freddie Mercury could play the accordion, he'd probably be very jealous. Yeah. Well,
That Irish wit, I like it. You bollocks.
yeah.
I thought I'd throw that in for you. So,
Yeah, I love it.
yep. Let's see what else that I have for you. I don't know. I mean, like you've got like a great schedule too. You're playing amazing venues tonight. You've got the City Winery in Philly. Uh, on Wednesday, you've got the Tin Pan in Richmond, Virginia, which is a great music town, just outside of Washington, D.C. in Leesburg, Virginia. On Thursday, the 17th, you're at Tally Ho Theater. Blairstown, New Jersey on Friday at Royce Hall. Back in my old stomping grounds, just outside of Boston, you're at what they call the TCAN, or the Center for Arts in Natick, on Saturday. Monday, the 21st, you're in New York at Hill Country. And then you come visit us in Connecticut on Tuesday, August 22 at the Katharine Hepburn Cultural Arts Center. And then one of my favorite venues on Wednesday, August 23rd, the Opera House in Boothbay Harbor, Maine. And let me tell you, that is a gorgeous room. Have you played some of these
Very
rooms
good, Jim.
before?
We
I
have, I
try.
think, yeah. A lot of them are new, but I must say I'm very impressed. You got all of those 100% correct. That's pretty good going.
Yeah. I tell you, if you have time when you're in Boothbay, across the water, the harbor they have there, there's a footbridge that goes over to a restaurant called the Lobster Dock, where they have big
Oh,
slabs of blueberry cake for $1, lobsters where they boil it and then they put it on the grill to finish it,
no way.
steaks, corn on the cob, and it's not that expensive. If you don't go to the Lobster Dock, you're crazy.
You're talking to three piglets now, let out of Ireland, like eating like it's going out of fashion over here. We like to go as crazy as possible when we're eating. We
Yeah,
try,
yeah,
like, we love different types of food, so it's great. I'll definitely take you up on that.
yeah. The Lobster Dock in Boothbay Harbor is
Yeah,
fantastic. But you
very good.
know, here in Connecticut, the Katharine Hepburn Theater, it's like nice 300 seat venue. Um,
It's
beautiful
beautiful.
sound. Yeah,
We've played the Kid, absolutely stunning venue. Yeah, it's really
yeah,
great. Crowd have been brilliant as well in the past, so
yeah. It's a really
definitely looking forward to getting
well-informed
back there.
crowd. Yeah, it's a well-informed crowd. They know their
Yeah,
music and stuff. Yeah, good. And
they
right
do.
after
It's
you're
funny
done.
it's funny the pockets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please, Shane. Yeah, speak to that.
Just it's funny the pockets of Irish music support. I mean, like, I mean, you could just go to somewhere strange that you might think there'll be no Irish music here, but then you just come to places they're just fans of good music. And they've built up a trust for a lot of these venues, and they kind of know that, okay, these guys are going to bring quality music. So yeah,
Exactly
it's
what they
great.
got.
It's great to see it.
Yep. No,
Yeah.
and I was telling your PR person Michelle that one of my favorite places outside of Boston, the Irish Cultural Center of New England. Like Chloe Agnew will play there, and people like that. You got to get yourself in there. It's supported by the
Do.
Irish government,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they get one of the most beautiful on the down low venues in all of New England. Uh,
Nice.
yeah, that'd be a
The Irish
great
government are
place.
still looking. The Irish government are still looking for us. We're still at large, as they say.
Right?
But
As long as you didn't do anything in Belfast, it's suspect. It's all good.
no, no, we're safe. We just did something everywhere else that's suspect, but that's okay.
Well, I don't, and then I see you got a big Irish festival in East Peoria, Illinois, after the East Coast swing there. Have you now tell me about some of the vibes at these Irish festivals that you play?
The Irish Fests they're great. I mean, we've such a lovely tour this year because we've kind of got a mix between the Irish Fests are just bananas. Like, they're huge. And
Yeah,
there's, like, I mean, some of them have 100 plus. Like the Dayton or the Dublin and the Dublin Irish Fest and Milwaukee Irish Fest have over 140,000 people at the weekend there. So it's bananas. But it's such a lovely tour because we get to go from something like that to the theater gigs, which are kind of equally nice, but in a completely different vibe.
right.
So it's great to be able to do both. Yeah, the fests are great. So this is a lovely run at the moment because we've just come from kind of 2.5, 3 weeks of Irish Fest circuit, and now we're taking weeks of these theatre gigs on the East Coast, so we're just really, really looking forward to these gigs as well.
And I'm
There's kind
sure
of
when you
less
came
screaming at
up,
the crowd and more talking.
Right. When you came up, I'm sure you all like went to Irish sessions at the pub and all that, the typical way of coming up in this tradition of the music. Is that how you guys stay sharp when you're back home too? Just kind of go down to a session and at home, or do you
Yeah,
kind of
I mean,
go, hey, I'm done, kind of beyond that, and that's not what I'm gonna do, or
no, you're never beyond that. The second you start
no?
thinking you're beyond that is the second you've gone the wrong direction, you
That's what
know.
I wanted to hear,
No,
Mike.
yeah, and like Claire especially, I mean, Claire is just unbelievable. Um, I mean, we're spoiled. We're absolutely spoiled in Clare. I mean, there's as many musicians playing a session in Clare on a Saturday night, top level musicians are as there is in any of the great Irish Fest. They were it's just they're everywhere. It's saturated. It's awesome. So, like, what we would do to go home, I suppose, as a band, we've got so tight that we don't need to practice as much, because if one of us picks a song, we just kind of immediately know where our harmonies are, so like, I mean,
Yeah.
once you know the words, it's a 5 minute thing to figure out, like we did this rock show in Minnesota there last weekend, just ourselves and this band Jig Jam. We put on this kind of a special gig. We just did 15 Irish rock songs,
Mhm.
just completely like for the crack. And one of the ones we did was so the boys are back in town, dancing in the moonlight, Thin Lizzy, and
Oh yeah,
Adon
nice.
was singing, but it was just a case of like, I listened to it once and just played it once and had it straight away, because we just know our things. But to keep yourself sharp and to keep yourself like musically fed, you would go to the sessions and play with other people as well. You don't hear what other people do.
Right. I mean, that's
Everybody's
what it's all about.
which is
Yeah.
great.
Good.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Well, wonderful. I know
God, I
you're
hope I
probably
never think I'm beyond it.
no, of course not. That a true musician is
Mm.
always growing, always enjoying it. I tell you,
Yeah,
I got to meet Greg
for
Allman and
sure.
the Allman Brothers. One of the first times I sat down and chatted with him,
Cool.
he just wanted to talk about Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf, and I said, hey, it'd been nice talking to you, but I got work. It's a Wednesday. And he grabbed my knee and threw me back in the chair and wanted to keep talking about old bluesmen for another hour. Well,
No
who the
way.
hell am I to walk away on Greg Allman,
Yeah.
But
As I said, I did an interview last week with a guy, and I mentioned that Queen were my favorite band, and he started talking about how he had interviewed Freddie and stuff, and it turned into me interviewing him about, tell me more about,
yeah,
you know,
that's a
musicians
true,
just want to talk
true
about other
artist.
musicians.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
If you don't
yeah,
truly love it, then get out of the business, because
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely, yeah,
it's rough. It's planes, trains, and automobiles, and it doesn't matter what level you're at.
big time, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, good. We'll have fun, and I can't wait to see you when you come up to Connecticut. Put myself on the guest list. We'll be in touch. Uh, we'll hang
Sweet,
out,
Jim.
and
Thanks very much.
I'll bring a bottle of something to soothe your soul. Seeing as how I'm
Please
sure you're
do. Yeah,
not
my
doing
soul
your
is in bad
Sunday.
need of soothing.
If you're missing your Sunday duty, we'll you have a little something to baptize you with.
Yeah, yeah. I
Good.
mean, I'm due some karma at this stage, I think, from all the travel. So,
Yeah, right.
yeah, yeah,
Good. All
yeah.
right, Shane. We'll have fun tonight in Philly and stay out of trouble, and we'll see you in a few days.
Of course.
All right.
Great. Thanks for
Take
having
care,
me.
brother. All right.
Take it easy, buddy. Good
Bye.
luck.
Thanks.
Bye bye.